Hello, Matt. Well, indeed, last night the 28 heads of state did not discuss any names to replace President Juncker as the head of the European Commission. They instead discussed the process, so how to interpret the result of the European elections in the appointment for the head of the European Commission. Because when you look at the results from Sunday's European elections, you see that even though the centre-right party, the EPP, got the majority of the seats in the chamber, they still lost quite a lot of seats compared to the previous election. And at the same time, you saw a surge in support for the Liberals, for centre-left parties. And so the question now is really whether the heads of state should appoint someone from the centre-right or someone from the centre-left. But in this context, yesterday in the summit, I actually asked the Spanish Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez, whether it's feasible to expect an outcome quite soon. Let's take a listen.
If we put aside, let's say, partisan interest, and we focus on the qualifications of the potential candidates, I think that we can reach an agreement by the end of June.
Do you think that the ECB presidency should be treated differently and
Yes,
perhaps decided
absolutely.
later?
This is politics, and the other is like more technical, no?
I would favor separating the ECB decision from that. But again, that's my opinion. I'm not sure about my colleagues.
The priorities remain the same. Climate change, the fight against climate change, growth, jobs, investments.
We must respect the European Parliament and choose the next President of the European Commission among the Spitzenkandidaten candidate. And we need to lead the European Commission someone who has a strong executive experience at a national and at a European level.
A yes or no question. Do you want to become president of the European Council?
No, not at all.
So as you heard there from different heads of state, the idea is that actually when they have to decide who's going to be the president of the European Central Bank, this is also one of the top jobs that are up for grabs. This should be a separate decision because this role is more technical, whereas the other ones are more political, I should say. At the end of that clip, you also heard from the Portuguese Prime Minister, António Costa. There have been a lot of rumors that he could potentially get the head of the European Council. This is the institution that actually represents the 28 heads of state, but he said that they're loud and clear that he does not want that job. So what's going to happen next is that we will see the European Council, the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, having consultations with the European Parliament, trying to find a compromise with the lawmakers to see whether or not in the coming weeks they will actually manage to have a name for the next President of the European Commission.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.